Today we're going to talk about the fourth quarter and why it's usually the best quarter of the entire year. Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's episode. I am Chad Owen, the Annuity Sales Coach, owner of Retirement Realized Financial and Retirement Realized Agents Academy.
That is true.
And this is my sidekick, Boy Wonder. I would not say shotgun because he can't shoot anything.
Yeah, I'm just terrible.
Yeah, sure. Unless it was a pistol. That time you did the 100 yards with a 22 or 9mm?
9mm.
9mm. Yeah, that was the most expensive bet I've had in a long time. I bet he had 6 shots, I think. And that he couldn't hit it one time out of the 6, and I think you hit it twice, right?
I thought it was 3.
No, that's
pretty sure it was 50% at 100 yards.
Not even
with a pistol.
Okay. Now, if you could just shoot something that moves,
regardless of. Oh, you mean? Never mind. I won't go into that.
Let's not even be honorable. Okay. Aren't we talking
be
about
sensitive
annuities?
to our audience here?
Yes.
We are. We're going to talk about the fourth quarter today,
okay.
Why it has the potential and has historically been the best quarter for you. So to give the listeners a little bit of context here, the fourth quarter over the last 5 years, Chad, you have produced an average of 20% more each month in the fourth quarter than in any quarter prior, or the 3 quarters prior, again, over the last 5 years. So it has been consistently.
Actually, it's probably, we could even go back farther than that. I know we just did 5 years for
we
this,
did 5.
but I've remembered the fourth quarter always being the big one. Even when I was in the mortgage protection business, the fourth quarter was always the biggest.
Yeah. Well, and I'm trying to understand, we talk about why that is, right? And it's interesting because generally in the fourth quarter, you're likely to see fewer people you meet with.
Correct.
But you say those people that you do meet with are far more serious because of the holidays and the family vacations and the things that are naturally in the fourth quarter. They're all still there. So if they're willing to meet with you, they're generally more serious than clients that perhaps are trickled in throughout the first 3 quarters.
And it makes me wonder, too, if it's just people like to do end-of-year planning. So, and this could be way off, but just a speculation that maybe the people that have more money are the planners.
That's true.
You know, they're the ones that, okay, I'm wrapping up the year. I'm ready to go into next year, so I want to get this taken care of before I go into the next year.
Yeah.
And it would make sense logically, you know, that you would have people with that mindset having more money.
It's true. It's true. Generally, planners are, that whole just way of living and operating is going to have been there for decades prior while they're working and inevitably end up with larger retirements.
Yeah, so it's a potential.
Okay, well, let's talk about how to properly navigate that then. I mean, you talk about, you've got Christmas, you've got Thanksgiving, you know, if people are celebrating Halloween, New Year's, all of that is all right there in the last 3 months of the year. And inevitably, you are going to have people that they don't want to meet.
Yeah, they'll say, oh, can we call after the holidays? Can you give me a call after the holidays? Sure. I mean, if it's your money,
right.
I mean, we don't know what the market's going to be by the end of the time, but if you want to wait till next year, that's totally up to you.
Sure.
And then I get people going, oh, you know what? The market has been doing a little crazy. And I'll say something along the lines, I mean, really, when you think about it, what amazes me, and this is not pertaining to the fourth quarter, but when you talk to someone who's like in their mid-70s, well, I don't know if I can meet next week. I have a lot of doctor appointments. Well, when do you have doctor appointments? I mean, are you meeting 50 hours with the doctor? Oh, no, I just got to prepare and get ready for the doctor's appointments. And I'm like, these are regular checkups. And then I call them the next week. Yeah, I got some more doctor's appointments.
It's like if they have 2 doctor's appointments,
I know,
they've got a full
it wipes
schedule.
out the whole week. That was their excitement for the week. So, you know, I mean, people get these Christmas parties or they got to go Christmas shopping. And they think that's going to take up all this time.
Sure.
And the reality I tell people right out, it's going to take me 35 to 40 minutes to explain everything. If you have questions, it will take longer. But I just want to make sure that with what I'm explaining to you and the information I'm getting from you, I can easily get that done in 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And that almost always lets the guard down. Because remember, we have to remember that other people that went before us, and the seminar person that says it's only going to take an hour, and then 2 hours later, they're just now wrapping up the seminar.
Right.
Or the water softener guy that came over and said, I'm only going to meet with you for 15 minutes, and 3 hours later, they're eating your cookies, grabbing milk out of your refrigerator. Not that that hasn't happened to me, and I almost busted his face open. But anyway, I was just like, dude, those are, number one, those were Girl Scout cookies, okay?
Oh, man.
And he opened the package, and then he goes to reach in the cupboard and grabs a cup. And the reason why I bring that in there is because these are the experiences people have with salespeople.
That's true.
And they wonder why, agents wonder why people are so hesitant to meet with us. There's a lot of weird people that go before us. You have water softener people, you have the solar people, we just had our ducts clean, and not ducks, ducta. And, they're $99 per unit. We have 3 units. And so he comes in, he goes, oh, you guys got mold. You have mold in there. And I said, send me the pictures. And I'm like, no, that's not mold. But I said, if it was mold, what would that cost? Oh, $395 per unit. But if you get this UV filter on each of them, it's $599 per unit. I'm sitting there going, this is why you want me to go out. You want to come out there for the $99 unit, and you're going to guaranteed upsell me. And this is why people have that stereotype.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's not pertaining to the fourth quarter. This is just a freebie here. So you got to remember why people are hesitant.
It's true.
So when you tell them, if they're saying, hey, I got to do Christmas shopping, we have Christmas parties, whatever it is, we have family coming over, this only takes 35 to 40 minutes, and you can time me. If it goes over 40 minutes, you can kick me out.
Right.
Unless, of course, you have questions. So, wow, that was interesting. Your phone went off while we're doing a podcast.
I know.
You're the guy in church that interrupts worship.
I guess so.
But anyway, so I think people are more likely to spend more. But when you tell them it's only going to take this amount of time, then be sure to take
honor your word. Mm-hmm. Now, okay, there's a couple of things I want to get back to the fourth quarter about. One is why is it historically better for you? Is you're meeting with fewer people generally, but again, you say that the people you do meet with are generally more serious about doing something.
It appears that way.
So you're dealing with increased closing rates, perhaps, and probably larger case sizes.
Larger case size.
So it's just it's a more efficient time of the year to do business.
3 Decembers ago, I did $5 million, I think, in December.
Yeah.
Which, as you can imagine, that's a great way to wrap up the year.
Oh.
I'm still behind, I think, last year, but I've had weird cases this year. Everybody knows this. I mean, I've talked to so many agents. When this market keeps doing what it's doing right now, and we have the pandemic, I still have people that will not meet with me because they're just waiting until this whole thing blows over.
And we're in Texas.
Yeah, we're in Texas. We're in one of the most open states in the entire United States.
Yeah.
So it's been weird, but hopefully we have some sort of volatility in the market. And am I wishing for volatility? Absolutely. The reason why is because I believe this market is so overinflated, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
But if that happens in the fourth quarter, people are going to be more motivated.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
inevitably.
It tends to be that way. And like I said, I wish I had an actual reason. But once again, even when I was in the mortgage protection business, the fourth quarter was always, even the guys, when I first got into it, they said the fourth quarter will generally be at least a third of your year's volume. And it's been very true.
That is.
Last year it was not, though. Last year was challenging.
Well, context for last year, though, we're talking about 2020 in case 5 years down the road somebody finds this podcast.
Fair point.
We're talking about last year is 2020 and COVID, obviously. So you didn't travel, you didn't take your trips, but you're still working the same way that you do. So by the end of last year, you were basically running on E.
That's true. I was so exhausted by the end of the year. I mean, that's when the Academy's been going on for 5.5 years now. We've been doing training agents.
Yeah.
But and then our IMO, we've been doing that not even 6, 7 months, 8 months?
No, we're about a year.
We're about a year.
Yeah,
okay,
we launched late last spring.
So I mean, it's the same type of thing, yeah. And I'm telling you, it was very tiring. I mean, I run multiple companies at once. Fortunately, I have an incredible team. But that not taking time off, the pandemic, I mean, I was exhausted by the end of last year.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the end of this year is better.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about fourth quarter etiquette. Agent etiquette.
You're asking me about etiquette,
right? That's
I'm not sure if that's the right person to ask.
All right,
about
let's
etiquette.
change the word from etiquette to
Professionalism.
process. Sure.
Okay.
You know,
I mean, I can be professional, but
well, here's the deal: is you've still got leads come in, you've still obviously got marketing and leads expenses. And yet you still have holidays.
Yeah.
So you have people that they've clearly reached out. They've got questions or concerns about something. But how do you balance being understanding of the fact that it is holiday season and people do generally want to spend more time with their family and take vacations and trips and that kind of thing, while also still, handling objections in a way that you still are getting appointments.
Yeah, I remember this story.
Balance,
it was
right?
during hunting season, and Texas hunting season can also be another
That's real.
holiday.
That's true.
I mean, even Colorado, though, Montana, I mean, any of the Midwest states, I mean, your hunting season is a full holiday season. I know guys that go up from Thursday to Monday.
Like every weekend.
Yeah, every weekend. Yeah, that's their thing. But I always say, hey, you know what? Tuesday through Thursday, I run appointments as early as 8 a.m. and I run them as late as 7 p.m. There's no excuse not to make something like that work.
Sure.
And if
you tell
it's
clients
important,
that?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
If it's important to you, I use this story that, man, we were out hunting in Colorado, and this was 2007, 2008. I think it was 2008. And we were out hunting in Colorado, and this guy wanted to meet with me and he said, hey, we're going on a cruise. We'll be back in 2 weeks. And I said, hey, that's fine. I'm going to be gone when you get back. I'm going to still be at the tail end of my hunting trip. So I'll call you as soon as I get back from my hunting trip. So okay, fine, let's just postpone the meeting. Long story short, we were going to get gas one day, and I looked at the gas station, and that's when this market had dropped almost 1,000 points in one day.
Whoa.
Now remember, this was when the market was not at 35.
Sure.
I mean, it was much
That was
lower.
a huge
so
percentage.
it was a huge drop. And so I'm sitting there, I'm not worried. I mean, my clients are fine, but I immediately thought about that one guy that said, hey, we'll wait till he gets back. Well, I did call him. He did move money, but man, I said, that was the most expensive vacation you ever went on, wasn't it? He goes, yeah. He goes, I lost $30,000
Wow.
in that time frame. And, I use that as an example because, no, it's not a fear thing. It's your money, your decision.
Right.
But I say, hey, this is what I remember happening at a time. And people forget the beginning of 2020, end of March, April, the market dropped 32+%. And that, quick,
Right.
super quick.
Oh, yeah.
Now it rebounded, but I personally believe it rebounded because we just started dumping all this money. There's all sorts of things that started to happen. There's payouts going on. I believe we're in a big mess right now because even though we're going into the fourth quarter, you have people that our unemployment filings last week was horrible.
Yeah.
They're going to be horrible this week. It's just, you're going to have people that are not getting their stimulus anymore. You have people that are no longer protected and never should have been, by the way, by the rent protection. Why do I say that? So somebody experiences a hardship and they can't pay their rent. I get that, but that's what savings is for.
Right.
But what about the person who owns the home that has to pay a mortgage, has to pay the bank, and they're not getting paid at all?
Right.
And so, all this is coming due right now. So I think we're actually in for a pretty interesting fourth quarter that may be very detrimental, in essence, to what the market could do.
Sure.
Now, can I tell you for sure? Not even remotely. One thing we do know about the market is we don't know anything about the market.
It goes up and it goes down.
It does. So the fourth quarter could be, it could be the perfect storm where we end up having, and do not do this, I'm telling you, when the market falls, even though it's in the fourth quarter, do not turn into an order taker. You still do full fact finders.
That's a good point, Chad.
You still do the incomplete explanation of the product and how it works. It's not, you don't just do what they tell you to do. You make sure you're doing what's best for them.
Yeah. And if you don't have a fact finder or you want the best fact finder out there, you sign up for the Academy.
Yeah, we have it. We have it. And I I'm not saying mine's better than everybody's, but I'm telling you, mine's better than everybody's.
It's
The
one
reason why,
page.
it's one
You
page.
get all the information. It exposes the
need.
holes that the client has, and then when you've got the holes exposed, you can find the product that patches the holes the best.
But obviously on that, there may be a specific circumstance where I'll write notes in another area.
Sure.
I mean, my fact finders are covered in notes. So when we look at this, remember, fourth quarter is always the best based off of, I believe, bigger client base, people that are more serious, but the market conditions can also be a big factor in that.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So yeah, that's a great recap, Chad. Fourth quarter, knock it out of the park. Keep working hard. I had this thought this morning. It's like, you know what? People have been sowing into their business for a long time, and I think that there's been a pretty long season of maybe reduced reaping, so to speak. The harvest has maybe not been as great as a lot of agents were to have wished it would be based on how much they've poured in and sowed into their business. And I'm just hoping and encouraging you, keep working hard, because the fourth quarter could be that season of harvest for you.
It could. And the one thing that we look at is, some things I would watch out for is the person who's saying, let's wait till after the holidays. Once again, just tell them this doesn't take that long. This would be a horrible thing if the market did drop while you're trying to enjoy your holidays. That could change how you feel about your holidays. I mean, the reality is if you have a 20% drop during Thanksgiving and Christmas, it's hard to be thankful because a lot of times people are worried about where their money is going. Now, the reality is, could it bounce back? Absolutely. Could it go higher? Absolutely. And I tell clients that. It could go lower. It could go higher. But the one thing I will tell you is we just take a short time to meet to at least get educated on it.
Know what's available and what's out there for you.
And then the week of Thanksgiving, that can be a challenge because you have people trying to get their Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before they have Thursday, Friday off. But remember, a lot of people don't get that Thursday, Friday off. So they may have Wednesday off. They may have Tuesday off. So don't make any assumptions. Do your same call process the entire time. And remember, we're still in September, October, November, so we're at the very end of September now. October, November, you don't really have any hindrances whatsoever. Those should be knockout months. And then at the end of November, and then the last 3 weeks of December is when it can be a little challenging for timing. But remember, if you're doing full fact finders, you're doing the mini fact finder of the phone, you're doing very smooth, very consistent conversations with your clients so they know you're an expert. I mean, if you're stuttering and they're not going to want to meet with you anymore.
Yeah, that's tough.
So make sure you're staying very consistent, smooth. Don't do a whole bunch of on-butts. Make sure you're a professional, and I'm telling you, fourth quarter will be it.
And you said one thing there. Don't make an assumption that they're not working or that they are. The other thing I would encourage you to do is don't make the assumption that they don't want to meet just because it's the holiday season. If they're a lead or they came through your marketing systems or whatever that is, they've obviously shown interest. They've got some kind of concern. They have some kind of question. So go into those calls assuming they do want to meet, even though it's the holiday season, rather than assuming they don't want to meet because it's the holiday season.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Well, that's it. So I hope this helps you guys. You have a great day, and of course, happy selling.